Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another week of this week's episode of Let's Chat Ladies. Again, I am Mo.
Mickey.
I'm V.
And we thank you all for tuning in. We also would love to say Merry,
Merry
Christmas from the Sellers sisters.
Yes.
We really are. We are all sisters. This is my baby sister and my big sister, and I am the middle child. So, anything y'all want to say before we get started?
No, I'm dressed like this because it's ugly Christmas sweater day.
Yeah, exactly. You see, my
She's
shirt
being
has
very festive.
Merry Christmas. Okay. Okay. So, if you all have not tuned in before, we usually use Derek Jackson's "Mentally Stimulate Me" game to select our topics of discussion. This week we only have two topics from Derek's game, and then we have two other topics that we would like to discuss. So let's get started. Okay, the first question is: you clog the toilet at your partner's family's house. There's no plunger in sight, and your partner just stepped out. What do you do?
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna read the answer choices. A, slip out quietly and say nothing. B, ask someone for help. C, stay in there until your partner returns. Stay in the bathroom until they come back.
Probably for a good little minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or D, you gonna try to unclog it by hand. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
no.
definitely not.
That's
Definitely
not.
not gonna do D.
I would probably get help.
Yeah, that's me.
I mean, everybody
I'm gonna make sure I
go
close
at
the
some
toilet
point. Yeah.
and say, "Excuse me, I need some help in the bathroom." Make sure nobody go in the bathroom.
Right.
Right, yeah. I mean, because that's just a part of life. We're gonna take
Right.
number twos.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask for help. That's just like it didn't happen that word. And the plunger was not in the restroom. Okay, so you gotta close the door and go find the plunger or ask someone where it is. I don't have no shame in my game. I mean, I really just do not. Excuse me, y'all. I'm having a little technical. Want to make sure that the video doesn't stop. But yeah, I don't have any shame in my game. So this really was easy for me.
Yeah.
So what y'all the same?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get some help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says slip out quietly
I'm
and
not
say
Oh
gonna,
my
nothing.
goodness.
I'm
It's
not
like
gonna
you-
do nobody like
I
that.
know.
I mean, 'cause sometimes
That's just
it can be-
embarrassing. No matter
Right.
how you try to hide it, your
Right.
face still gonna show that guilt.
Right.
Like,
Oh, no, it was
like,
you.
oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I hope they don't
It's
figure
like,
out.
I saw her go in the bathroom.
Right, they
last.
gonna find that. And then you're gonna be the talk of every conversation.
Right,
But
right.
we don't want her
Oh,
coming
she
to no
just
more
low
functions.
down.
Right.
She nasty.
Nasty.
She nasty.
Right.
Yeah, that was
They
good.
were like, don't bring her to no more
Yeah,
parties.
she nasty. She just like a kid.
Right,
Just gonna leave the
right,
toilet clogged up.
Right.
That sounds
That's
like
just
something one
like-
of my boys would have done when they were young.
That's just like somebody I know that got drunk and threw up in somebody's bathroom, all over the shower curtains, the
Ew.
toilet, the floor, the sink, everywhere.
No.
And just politely when he got back in the bed, didn't tell nobody nothing.
Oh,
V, no.
Didn't say nothing, but still act like they didn't do it to this day, okay?
That's
Oh,
nasty.
wow.
Yeah.
They were drunk.
They was drunk.
Oh, wow.
Did they remember? They know they did that?
They had to. They had to.
Yeah.
It could've
Because they
been a
woke up
blackout.
and throw up on them, on their shirt.
Oh, dang.
So, but they still don't want to admit to it because they left it in there like that.
That's
Okay.
nasty.
Yes, it is.
So y'all chime in. What would y'all do? Would you just slip out the bathroom and don't say anything, or find somebody to help you clean it up, or just stay in there till your partner comes back? Now, yeah, I probably, back when I was younger, I would have stayed in the bathroom like, damn, how am I figure this out? You know? But now I don't care, honey. Okay, so the next one is, Your spouse gets life in prison, so you mutually decide to get divorced. 3 years later, you're engaged to someone else. Then learn that your ex-spouse is being exonerated and still loves you. What would you do? A, nothing, your past is behind you. Or B, reconnect with your ex-spouse ASAP. Right.
A for me.
Yeah, A for me, and that goes back to another one of the topics that he had about a deal breaker, ex-felon, you know.
Mm.
I mean, first of all, we decided to get a divorce. I moved on. I'm in love with this person now.
Right.
Just because he's in love with me still, I'm sorry, you know,
Right.
it's just life, you know.
And a lot
I
of times
moved on.
it just always be like that. Even after you have had a bad break, or I wouldn't say just necessarily a bad break, but after you have broken up and the person, you know, both of y'all moved on, but you can still love that person, you know, because of something that may not have worked out between the two. You know, you can still have love for that person, but you have moved on.
Yeah.
But you know, you still gonna have those feelings every time you see that person. You know, sometimes. No, I'm talking about if you truly in love with that person, you're still gonna have those feelings with that person every time you see them. But you know, and that's why some people just stay away when they want to basically move on.
But it didn't say you still in love with him.
I know I'm talking about exactly. I mean, it could be either way.
So both of y'all would do nothing. That's the past.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the past.
That's the past.
So what would y'all do? You two, would you continue on with your life, your new life, or get back with your ex? We would love to hear from you. Please drop your comments, and if you like these discussions, hit the like button, subscribe, share.
I have something to add on to that though. Okay, you remember the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks when he got stuck on the island by himself for how many years was it?
It was a long
7 years, I think it was.
I've never seen that.
You haven't? Okay, Castaway was a great movie. You need to see that with Tom Hanks. Okay, so him and his wife were in love and married and everything, and so he got they was on a airplane and the airplane crashed, and he survived the airplane crash, but he was stuck on the island for so many years or whatever. Then when he finally got some help to where he go back home, his wife had done moved on and got remarried and had kids. And so he was so still in love with her, and she was so still madly in love with him when she saw him. She wanted to be with him, and he wanted to be with her, but they felt that they couldn't be together because she was married with kids now.
Now, see, that's different because you say he was stuck on an island.
Yeah, but I'm saying, they still didn't do anything. They moved on, even though they was still madly in love with each other.
But that's different from a man going to prison.
Yeah, that is,
but life. Is it life too? What did it say?
But still, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the situation. I wouldn't say it's because of where he went. He was just gone.
You're just saying their feelings.
No, I'm saying that he was still gone. I mean, but he was exonerated from everything he did. He was just in prison. This man was on the island.
A lot of things happen to you in prison. That's
okay. You talking about
Right. A lot of things
I thought
happen to you in prison.
I thought you were just saying just because he was gone for a long time.
That's where he was.
Right.
Okay, that's
a lot of activities. How many years has been?
I'm definitely
things
moving
go
on from
on behind the wall.
Situational.
I'm definitely moving on from a prisoner. Okay. But I was just saying that because it's sort of like the same situation, just that he was in prison.
Yeah, you mean like with distance and you moving on.
Right.
And in that case, with that movie, yeah, they were just still in love. She was still in love because she just thought she lost her husband.
Right.
So
you just said that
that's
they couldn't
different.
get back together and start off where they left off from.
In her case, yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta get back with my love.
Okay.
In this movie, I gotta get back with this man because this is who I really love.
Right, right.
You know, I've never stopped loving this man.
Right. But she had kids. How you gonna explain that?
kinda
You know,
hard.
your kids, you have, you're in love with your husband that you with now. Right. How can you explain that to your kids? And
How old are
kids?
kids?
They were small kids. They were small kids.
And they don't even know this man. Who
Right.
is this?
Exactly.
What? Yo,
Oh
what?
Lord, that's
Okay.
just a whole other.
How did that happen?
Exactly. Now I can see if they had kids together, and these were just some kids. He was just a stepfather.
Yeah.
Then yeah, okay. I probably would want to get back with.
Dang, so they didn't get
you know,
back together.
No.
Let's see how tough it
Crazy.
is, how tough life
Right.
can
Right.
be.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all. So that was good, V. And it really had, got us to really dive into
Right.
the reason why I would not have gotten back with my ex-husband per that question. So Mickey has a topic that she would like for us to discuss. That she brought up. That would be a great topic to discuss
Right.
about. You said the Jonas Brothers.
I think. Yeah.
One of the Jonas
Yeah.
brothers.
So, let me.
Well, I can put
go
it.
to
Go ahead and say it. Well, no, your question. Oh,
Okay.
excuse me. Excuse me.
Alright.
So one of the groom was a Christian and the bride was a Muslim or some other religion, and neither one of them converted to the other religion.
Right.
They got married. They had 2 weddings, one for her tradition and her religion. And then they had one wedding for his religion. So, it was a big Facebook post about you don't have to compromise your religion, for love. You all can just, continue with each other's religion, pretty much in so many words. And so I would like to know, what do you all think about that? Me personally, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus, okay? I believe that Jesus was God's son. He died for my sins, and he rose again. He is my savior. That's what I believe. Now, per our beliefs, we're all Christians, raised as Christians, okay? Born into sin, saved, baptized in the Holy Ghost, okay? So we are Christians. So per our Christianity, in the Bible it says that you shouldn't be unequally yoked, meaning you shouldn't marry someone who has a different religious belief than Christianity, because how you gonna raise your kids?
Right.
You raise your children in the way that they should go, which is Christianity, because that's what we believe. So I don't agree with that. 2 different religions, like it just seems like it would be a lot of conflict when you start having kids.
Very much.
How you gonna raise your children? What do you believe? What do I believe?
Right.
That's just it. It might work for them now. You go to your church or your mosque, and I go to my church. When you have children, that's where the problem's gonna come into play.
Right.
How is that gonna work? That's what I would like to know. So, what do you think, Nikki?
I'm going to go as a V.
Okay, I feel the same way. I feel that, it's going to be a lot of problems, a lot of conflict on how to raise their child, how to chastise that child, what beliefs, as far as what they, feel that the child should eat. Some Muslims or some people in different religions feel like you shouldn't eat pork or you shouldn't eat certain things, and they don't even want it in their household. Like if it's a man, of course, he's somewhat, like a stand-up type of man that, runs the household, says, okay, we're not doing this. This is the way my household's going to be ran, and this is how I feel that it should be. And the wife is supposed to follow the man because he is the head of the household. So, that can be, very challenging for that marriage or relationship. And with, you know, schooling, you know, different ways of, you know, raising the kids is where it's gonna come in at, where the problem gonna come in at.
Yeah.
And right. And you know, it could be, you know, money issues. Well, we all have money issues, but we don't know. I don't know every religious, you know, different religions. I don't know how they, you know, operate.
Down
So-
to healthcare decisions.
Right, healthcare
Some
decisions
religions
with
don't
not
believe
taking
in taking
shots.
blood transfusions.
Fusions, right, exactly.
You know, it's a lot of things that come into play with
Right.
your religious beliefs
Mm-hmm.
and trying to have a union. Right. You
Right.
have two different religions. But okay, Mickey.
It's okay.
I'm just curious to want to know what
She wants to know what I'm going to say.
We both.
Okay. Okay, so both of you have very valid point of views.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a lot to do with our tradition, our customs, the way we were raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff the scripture does say, but it's not to be taken as we take it.
Okay.
You know, everybody, you can take 3 different people that read that same scripture and have 3 different interpretations
Okay.
of what it means.
About
Right.
about not being
Not
equally
being
yoked.
equally
Okay.
yoked.
Okay.
We view that as, oh, they not a Christian, or they don't believe this, they don't believe, oh, yeah, they not equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
But they could be equally yoked in other ways. They probably have already discussed how they're going to raise their kids. They probably have already discussed, you know, decisions like, because when you're going into a marriage, I have to know, if I'm about to marry you, what is your directive will? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you want me to do if it was a situation to where, although we believe in different things, I know I would insist, I'm not a Christian, I wouldn't take, you know, I'm not saying me per
Yeah,
se.
you're saying.
If that was her religion and she wouldn't take a blood transfusion, would you want to take a blood transfusion? For our kids, what decisions are we going to make for our children? It's going to have to be a decision based on whether our religion or my custom is to believe this or not. Am I going to go with you to save my child? Because when it comes down to it, regardless of religion, people will go against their religion to save their children.
Oh, I beg to differ because we had I
Some
work in
people
healthcare.
will.
I work in
Some people
healthcare,
will.
and we had a patient
Yeah.
who needed a blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
The father said no.
Mm-hmm.
They were Islamic, or I can't remember what the religion was, but it wasn't Christianity. They were not Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And the mother they the same religion now,
Mm-hmm.
but the mother did want to compromise
Okay,
and give her
but-
child, but the dad said no, and she died. The patient
Oh my
died,
gosh.
Okay. Yeah.
but the
But-
dad was like no.
But at that,
So some people
in
don't.
certain situations, when both parents can't agree, sometimes the hospital can step in. You know what I'm saying? And say, okay, well, since y'all can't agree, come to so the mother had to have caved in. And when
I don't know because I'm not working in the
because
legal
if it was
department
me
in the hospital.
and I am a Christian, oh yeah, I'm taking the blood transfusion all
All
day.
day.
You know what I'm saying? My kids getting the blood transfusion all day.
Right.
But if my husband, although he's supposed to be a Christian too, for whatever reason he has a theory or some whatever in his mind, you know, because there are some crazy people in there. Sometimes you don't know how they really
Well, they
feel.
just read something.
Right, until you get down, if you in that situation. You know, some stuff don't come out right ahead of time, or before you get married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what? I wonder how does that play out in the hospitals when you have a husband and wife. Y'all husband and wife, so y'all both have equal rights over
Right.
this child.
Right. They have to
Healthcare
come to a
decisions.
conclusion.
So I don't know.
A common, I think they have to come to a common decision, a mutual decision. Or if they don't agree, because
No, the mother didn't say. I mean, she didn't want to do it, but she was not going to go. You know, that Muslim woman, but she wasn't going to go against what her husband said. She just the doctors just knew that she didn't want to do it, but she didn't. So it was the father's decision because you know he's the head.
Okay, well,
I was just saying, if she had a choice, if the father wasn't, you know, if he was deceased or he wasn't around, she would have went against her religion to, save her daughter, but the dad wouldn't break. That's his
But
religion.
that's why it's important for you to have these decisions before you get married and have children.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? So they could have, we don't know because we're not in their relationship. We're on the outside looking in. They could have very well sat down and discussed all of this, the do's and don'ts and all the stuff that they're going to do with their children. You know, when it comes to decisions like that, and I think that's key. So if they have, and they have come to a good grounds and good terms on how they're going to raise their kids, who are we to say that they're unequally yoked?
Well, that's them. I'm just
saying people in general. You know, now some people do have conflict like that, and some people do conform to their mate's religion. You know, but it is a scripture, that says.
I thought that equally yoked is about spiritually.
Well, see, that's
because you can have everything in common, but
I need to
religion is going to keep you from being together.
Right? Yeah, I need to look up.
I mean, because that's just like with people who have things in common, but it's going to be something. But if you didn't make it, it was something that caused y'all not to make it, so, even if it wasn't infidelity or anything like that.
Right.
It was something in your relationship that caused you not to make it. So I mean, I feel like equally yoked means spiritually.
I don't know, but okay. So wait a minute. I want to piggyback real quick on what she said about they could have sat down and discuss how they're going to raise their decision making.
Right.
But my question is, in that case, so which one we're going to raise our children as, Muslim or Christian?
They probably have already decided. Okay, we're gonna expose them to both, and let them decide. You know what I'm saying? Give them a lot. That's what a lot of people do. That do marry people outside of their religion, and they decide to keep their same tradition and customs. They expose their kids to both. So
that's not an in-depth belief then in your religion. If you gonna say, well, I'm gonna expose my child to Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, and let them decide, then you don't have a deep belief in your religion.
Right.
I just believe in Christianity. I believe that this is the correct belief. Okay? So I'm not even gonna agree to expose my children to any other type. I mean, other than just, education purposes. Because I learned about all the different religions in college. At Liberty, but that was just because that was a worldview class. Right. So just to educate myself, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So education wise, that's fine, but this is what we believe.
Right.
So that, to me, if you're gonna agree to let your raise your children in these two different religions and let them choose, that means to me that's not a strong belief in your belief system.
Right. Because what if that person that you were so in love with, and you found out that they're in a cult, and their cult sacrifices people
before
we learned at Liberty. We learned at Liberty that you know what? Nope. I'm not even gonna bring that up because this is not a political
discussion.
Yes, and this is not a religious discussion. So I don't want to no one to think that I'm going to attack any religion.
Right.
So,
but
I take my thoughts that
things like this is, and most Christians' point of view is things like that is what deter people from believing altogether, even wanting to know altogether.
Yeah.
So because they feel like that's coming off as judgmental.
What is?
And saying, oh, they not equally yoked, they don't need to be together.
Oh, well, honey, I mean,
I didn't say they don't need to be together. I'm just saying they're
not supposed to get married.
Yeah,
but see, that's what
but
we was taught.
It's a scripture too that says if for the unbelieving husband and wife they are made holy, because when you get married you become one. And that doesn't mean they're gonna automatically be made holy. That means, okay, if you're a Christian, you decide to date somebody that's Hindu, right? And they see you strong in your faith. You know what I'm saying? They see how God has, you know, changed your life or touched your life and ministered to you, and you ministering to them without even recognizing that you ministering to them. So that's an opportunity
They see
for
the
them
God in
to
you.
for them to, you know, convert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's not about us. That's why God gave us free will. You know what I'm saying? It's not about us being doing stuff perfectly. We're not gonna do stuff perfectly. And you sometimes you can't help who you fall in love with.
Right.
But if you know beforehand, a lot of people do avoid that so they don't fall in love with you know, people that
The quote unquote wrong person.
but sometimes it's just an instant connection. You know, and that's probably what they had. They could have had an instant connection when they met. And
they just have a lot in common.
Right.
You know, they're just
so
they have
you
so
know,
much in common, but their religion is just different.
right. That's why I'm a little bit more open minded because, you know, I personally probably wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I want for myself. But, you know, I didn't look at it like, oh, that it ain't gonna last or they shouldn't be doing it or anything like that. I just looked at it, okay, well, they probably, you know, have discussed it. I'm on the outside looking in. So if it works for them, it works for them. If it don't, it don't. That's their business. That's their life.
Good. This was a good topic. We only have 4 more minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up with our last discussion. Oh, and please chime in, comment, drop your comments if you really like that discussion on 2 lovers getting married despite religious beliefs and, you know, not converting and things of that nature. So we have one other topic.
Yes, about this Georgia's HIV epidemic. As a third world country, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it's 87% in just Atlanta for HIV. And I don't know if y'all listen to 107.9 in the evening time. Side P, shout out. That show right there is just ridiculous to me.
It is.
I mean, because it's like you are glorifying people cheating. And then a lot of them, you know, like this one guy said yesterday that he's been, you know, having this side piece or whatever, and he's really feeling her now. And so they were saying, well, you know, make sure you just wrap it up. He was like, oh, no. I don't, you know, I don't like to use those. I don't like to use condoms. So he basically, you know, if the girl got something, he has it, he's passing on to the girlfriend. And then since, the old girl is going to find out that he's been cheating, she going to go be with somebody else and pass it on to that person. It's like, you can't even be in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, or even a marriage these days without, you know, possibly getting HIV. Especially here in Georgia now. And it's just ridiculous.
That is terrible. And he's not using anything with his side piece. And she's not his woman.
Right.
And if she's not married herself,
Exactly.
ain't no telling who all she's
sleeping with. Exactly.
But,
I mean, it's just,
hey, you know, don't know who doing what. I mean, married folks.
That's sad, man. Y'all just need to wrap it up.
Right.
Okay? Get tested.
Yes.
right.
Yearly.
Know your
Right.
status. Yes.
Faithfully. Annually.
Right. Even if you're married.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because I get tested every year.
Me too.
Just because you married,
Right.
don't mean you don't, you know,
Exactly.
you just can't put nothing past anybody.
Right,
These
right.
days. But,
I mean, what do y'all think is you know, about the HIV epidemic here in Georgia? You know, how do you feel about being protected?
is it
Yeah.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
It's
It's so
mainly Atlanta or
it's
Georgia?
It's Georgia, but it was
common
more
now
in
to
Atlanta.
where you know that they are trying to push this new drug now too.
Oh, yeah.
To where it's like a
Like a
pre-medication,
vaccine.
yes, that you take to
It's called,
help prevent yourself
What's it
from,
called?
well,
would
lower
not
your
trust
risk
that.
from
Right.
contracting HIV.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, are they coming up with these new figures to promote this drug, or is it really
We talking about our government, y'all. You just
Right.
never know.
You know,
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not using it.
Right. No.
But I
'Cause
have
it's like
been
a
seeing a
vaccine?
lot of it.
No,
No,
it's
it's a pill.
that you
I've been
take
seeing a
daily.
lot of it on TV, and I've been hearing it on the radio a lot.
Right,
too.
yeah, they've been advertising. Really, ever since I seen Empire episode, the last episode. No, it was before the last episode where Jamal was taking his lover had HIV, and he was taking this medication because of him being gay.
Yeah.
He was taking the medication to lower his risk from getting HIV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Well, you know what? We're gonna have to bring this topic back up again next week since we kind of cut short on time. But please chime in. What do y'all think about the HIV rate in Atlanta, Georgia, Georgia as a whole?
Right.
And yeah, just wrap it up, man. That's just the best thing. Well, abstinence, of
Get
course, is the
tested.
best. But wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Get tested
Be
faithfully.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Because
No
you wanna-
mishaps.
Right. You want to live a long, healthy life.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So we thank y'all again for tuning in. This is Mo. Merry Christmas. Signing out.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas. Yes.
Happy holidays.
I was about to say Happy New Year, but we will be back next week before the New Year. So
Yes.
just Merry Christmas, like my shirt says. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.